gotta slow down and let the moment pass. You're working too hard, you know it is true. You gotta slow down and take some time for you.
I got it set back up. Now I'm just going to walk the bank. Look at this thing. Okay, I'm not going to get any pictures of this thing planing because I can't keep it from catching fish.
This is the bullet bobber, and I'm going to show you how to rig it today. You can see it's pointed in the front, rounded. In the back, it's flat. There's a peg that comes with them, a couple pegs. You run your line through it, tie on your lure, tip it up like this, get that line right on the crack there, and then put the peg in. You want the line to be right there. The flat back, up in the air, the line hanging down, and then you put the peg in.
It's just that when you can ride the edge like that, you know, when you cast way out there and you reel in, you know, you cast in one little area. The ledge is way out there, and what I'm doing is throwing this bait on the ledge and then running the whole ledge. I mean, for 20, 30, 40, 50 feet, as much as I want.
When you cast the bullet bobber out, it's going to sit in the water like this, with the bait hanging down and pointing up. If you don't have much weight on it, it might sit like this. As soon as you put tension on it, it's going to come up on its side, and it's going to start to arc out. You give it a little tug, and it flips over and goes the other way. Give it a little tug, flips over and goes back the other way. You have to reel slow because it moves about 5 times faster than what I'm reeling. Give it a little tug, flips over and goes the other direction. You can see there's a tree in the water out there, and I typically wouldn't cast over a tree, but using the bullet bobber makes it pretty easy to do. I'm just going to move to the right where I think it's safe to cut back. Come all the way back across the front of the tree, and this added about 40 yards to the length of the retrieve. Here's a weed bed obstacle course that's kind of fun to do. I'm going to go to the right, go behind this one patch of weeds you see there, all the way out, just clear it, cut back, go in between 2 of them.
You gotta slow down, you move too fast, you gotta slow down and let the moment pass. You're working too hard.
You can see there's an island of plastic in here. If you can see that, that's a counterweight. That's what holds the back down.
Look at that. My second cast ever with the thing. I'm not even kidding you guys. Look at the bass. Second cast ever with the bullet bobber. This thing really is incredible.
Moving along, and a fish hits, you'll see it go down backwards. If you flipped it and it was going the other way, the fish hits, it pulls it down backwards. If you see it go into a dive, that means you don't have enough weight hanging back here to keep the front end pointed up. You add a little split shot. By the way, that's my favorite lure for fishing in rivers. The bullet bobber is great for river fishing. You can make one cast and you can go anywhere you want downstream without having to recast. The bullet bobber planes to the side. You can give it a little tug and it flips over and planes the other direction. It changes color when it flips direction so you can see which way it's going even if it's 100 yards downstream. It uses the current just like a kite uses the wind. You can go back and forth over a spot or hold position just like the kite holds position in the sky. There just isn't a more effective way to fish rivers, streams, or even tidal currents because your lure is active 100% of the time. If you're using it and it doesn't want to flip, if you're pulling and it's just coming up like that and coming back down, then you need to adjust this. You need to make adjustments. The way you do it is move the line to a 45-degree angle and put the peg back in and test it. That can make a world of difference in its ability to flip one way. If it won't flip one direction, it'll flip the other way easy. It tends to lean always want to go this way, just coming up and standing up and falling back down the same way, you do that. You move the line. The most you can adjust it is straight out to the side, and put the peg in. That gives you a maximum amount of adjustment to make it flip equally, either the green side, either the orange side, or the red side. I can't tell you which. Well, I could, but it'd take longer to tell you, and you probably wouldn't remember. So just test trial and error is the quickest way to get to where you want with it. Only takes a minute. That tube inside, being a soft tubing, when you put that plug in, you want to put it in firmly. If it slips through there, it can cut into the edge of the tube, and then the plug won't hold it. It won't leak, but it can cut into the edge of that tube. If you want to cast them, easy. If it's slipping though, still slipping on you, you can put another peg in. And the way to do this one is like this, because that's where the line should be coming out, not in front of the peg. That gives you the best flip. That little peg sticking out won't mess your flow up, won't mess the planing action up, won't even notice it. But if you put both plugs in, like I said, you got the flat end, the peg, and the line. If you put the other peg in too, the front, the peg, the line. But if you're only going to use one peg, just use the back peg. That's the critical one, because that gives you your adjustment. If it's off the back side, if you put it on there like that, it's not going to work any good. The line has to be in front of the peg, in front or below, or below or above it, but never on the back side. The other thing about the BullletBobber is you can just say to heck with the peg and slip rig it. You can put out as much line as you want. You can, if your line between here and here, if your rod is 8 foot, you can easily put 6 foot between your lure and the split shot. So you start out at a depth of 6 foot, and then whenever you're drifting along and you get into a slack spot, you can let it drop down deeper. I call it three-dimensional fishing. You got the horizontal direction and the vertical.
Unbelievable, man. My first cast with the thing. Unbelievable. And we tested it on one of the hardest days. I'm impressed with it, Gary. What do you think? That was my first cast ever with it. Ever.
I told you we could make it work.
Oh, man. He ain't the biggest fish, but you know what? Given the situation today, this is our 4th fish in a row. That's my first time ever casting this BulletBobber. He is not an advertiser on the site, but he's the guy who invented this, asked us to try it. It's incredible. We throw it out there maybe 25 feet and walk to shore, and it stays out there 25 feet. And just we walk it down the ledge, haven't missed yet on a crappy day. This thing's incredible. I would buy one, definitely. In fact, Terry said, he'll have one in the tackle box the rest of his life. It's incredible.
You gotta slow down, smell the flowers, you gotta slow down and forget the hours. Slow down, make some time for you. Slow down, well you know it's true.
Thanks for watching.